Hey guys, we're going to try doing some functional 3D prints today. I'm Alex.
And I'm Connor.
And you're watching Filamentally. So today, this motorcycle for my 2-year-old is broken. And that doesn't roll very well. So we're going to try using the 3D printer and a little bit of CAD modeling to make a new clamp or clip.
Clamp.
I don't know what you would call that. A new cap for the wheel to replace the broken one. And we'll go ahead and print two so that they match on both sides. So first things first, I guess we got to take the old one off. Want to hand me that screwdriver?
There you go.
Thanks. There's the broken piece. So this is what it's supposed to be, and this is what we have left. It's basically just the top of that. Everything else sheared right off. So we're going to see if we can model this same thing, and we'll go ahead and try to print it out. So now that we've got the old one off, we need to kind of draw out the dimensions of this new one. So we'll move this out of the way for now.
We have our measurements.
We do have our measurements. So now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take the piece that we know that is good and the drawings that we made with all of our notes for the measurements. We're going to go sit down at the computer, open up Fusion 360, and see what we can do to make a copy of this model. And if all goes according to plan, we will be printing on the Prusa i3 Mark III here shortly. We'll make 2 of them and we'll see how they fit. So up front, I'm not a Fusion 360 pro. We came into Fusion 360 and we started with a sketch. We knew the outer diameter of our main circle here, and we knew the width and the height of our piece that sticks out that goes into the axle on the little toy motorcycle. So we took those measurements, we sketched those out, we added some fillets here in order to give the rounded edge. And then we found ourselves in a bit of a conundrum when we had to add these holes for the screws to go through. Like I said, not a Fusion 360 expert. What I ended up doing, and I don't know if it's the best way, maybe there's a better way. If there is a better way, feel free to tell me. So I came in here and I chose to add a circle to the sketch. So I chose a center diameter circle, and from here I went out 7.75 in diameter, knowing that the distance from the center of this cutout to the center of this cutout was 7.75 millimeters. Being able to now have that circle there gave me a point to use as an intersect to start the next circle. So I was able to start these 2 circles off of there and then delete that 7.75 millimeter circle when I no longer needed it. The next thing I did is I clicked on this body here, and I held shift and clicked on this body as well so that I was taking action on both of them. And then I extruded that out. That gave me basically the initial part of the body. I then deselected that and selected only this face, and I extruded that another 6 millimeters to give that actual piece that sticks out. The end result was something that looked similar to this. The biggest difference here between the end result and what we had was that this hole did not exist and these cutouts here did not exist. So I then looked at the face of this like this, and I drew another circle out, subtracting 5 millimeters from the total diameter to give me a 5 millimeter ring around the outside. I then clicked on this face, and then I right clicked and I went to press pull. I used press pull to essentially cut out all the way down all but 5 millimeters in the bottom. Then I did the same thing essentially. I came right here and I created a circle off of this center, a circle off of this center, and I used push pull to go in to that about 3 millimeters so that we have these cutouts or reliefs for the screw head to sit down inside. At this point, this looks pretty good. This is about what we were going for. We'll try printing this out and we'll compare it to the original part, throw it on the printer, see what we get.
The first thing we need to do is get a little alcohol and clean the printing bed. Now the second thing we need to do is load the filament. Let's start by preheating the printer. Now that it is preheated, all I have to do is put it in here.
Sweet. So now that Connor got the printer all prepped, all we got to do is kick off the print. Okay, so it's day 2 and our prints are done. Righteous. They are a perfect fit. I mean, perfect. There is nothing more exciting than getting something off the printer, coming out and test fitting it, and realizing that you got it right first try. Fantastic. Except I didn't get it right first try. I put these reliefs in here for the screw heads, and I made them 3 millimeters deep. The problem is that what I was actually supposed to do was leave 3 millimeters of material at the bottom. So I really needed those reliefs that I made to be 6 millimeters deep. Now you can drill to make it a little bit deeper and kind of countersink those screws. That doesn't work very well with PLA. PLA tends to melt, and if you're not talking about solid layers and you start getting into the infill, there's just no structure there to hold the thing once you put the screw in. So once I realized this, kind of middle of the night, I ran and stopped the print, made some adjustments to the model, and first try. Anyway, when Connor gets home, we will throw these on here, we will run the screws in them, check them out and see how they do. Connor's gonna put it together.
Let's do it.
Here, hand those, get those out of the way.
Is it on the right way? Yeah.
Let's see, in fact, I wonder, oh, that fits in there really nice. Nice.
There.
Perfect fit.
Okay.
You're not excited?
Okay, now the other side. It's all done.
Oh yeah.
How does it work? Whoa.
Lincoln's gonna be really excited.
I don't think he's gonna be able to take that off.
Awesome.
Now we have it finished.
So we couldn't get a hold of the manufacturer to get a replacement part, and that's part of the reason why the idea came to us to make these. What's really cool is that the replacement part, my guess, would have been probably $5 in shipping just to get 2 of these out to us. This is about 20 cents worth of material. So it's not only fun, we got to learn a little bit about CAD and modeling, we got to play with a 3D printer, and it was super cheap. So the cool thing about 3D printing that we've come across is that we can pretty much fix almost anything that's plastic. There are some things that are just a little bit too technical for us to know how to model, but for the things that are simple like that, here is another example. Lincoln's dump truck, where the wheels here are held on with just these little ridges. So there's a little ridge just inside the wheel right there. And I doubt you're going to be able to see it on the camera, but if you can, there's just this little extra piece of plastic in there that's built into the wheel. And there's this little groove on the axle here, so it pops on and stays on fairly well until a 2-year-old runs it around the house for probably a couple 100 miles, and that ridge starts to wear down and the wheels just fall off as he's pushing it around. So all we made here were some little caps that go in the same spot and screw down in a very similar fashion to how these worked. And now these wheels don't fall off anymore and this thing works great. Now, apparently Lincoln's really bad on wheels. So these caps that we have, these were printed with 3D Solutech in their apple green 1.75 millimeter PLA. It's not an exact color match, but it's dang close, and a 2-year-old doesn't care one bit as long as his motorcycle's rolling. So since this is our first video, we thought we'd take a couple seconds to talk about ourselves and tell you a little bit about our background. Again, my name's Alex, and I am a software engineer. I have been writing software for probably 25 years. My dad was a software engineer at Intel. I grew up around code. From the time I was 9 years old, I was writing applications in C. I ended up getting involved in 3D printing fairly recently, just in the last 2 or 3 years. And I got my first 3D printer last year. So in this channel, our hope is to combine a little bit of technology, some software, maybe some electronics, and my love of 3D printing. My goal is to help Connor learn some of this stuff that'll help him with different life scenarios and help him advance in the STEM arena. What about you, Connor?
Well, as you all know, my name is Connor, and I love playing with Legos, playing with friends, playing video games. I do enjoy 3D printing. I think 3D printing is cool, and I do love technology. And soon I do want to grow up to be just like this.
I hope you've been inspired to make things, to not necessarily look for off-the-shelf solutions, but to find your own solutions, make your own solutions. And we appreciate you taking the time to watch our video.
Be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell.
We'll see you in the next video. Love it when a plan comes together.